America is hosting the World Cup. It hasn't even started, and it's already a global scandal. Iran's football team just found out that 14 of their key staff members, their secretary general, their vice president, their coaches, their media team, their security personnel all denied US visas. Not criminals, not threats, football staff, and it gets worse. All three of Iran's matches are on US soil, Los Angeles and Seattle. So here's what the team was told. Base yourselves in Mexico, fly in on match day, play, and leave the same night. No hotel, no recovery, no support staff on the sideline. Just show up, play, and get out. The country hosting the World Cup is deliberately making it impossible for a competing nation to function like a normal team. That's not immigration enforcement. That's targeted interference with an international sporting event. But Iran wasn't the only target. Iraq is returning to the World Cup for the first time in 40 years. Their striker landed in Chicago and was held at O'Hare for nearly 7 hours. Their team photographer held for over 10 hours, phone searched, and permanently denied entry into the United States. Their photographer. Denied. ICE and Homeland Security did not respond to a single request for comment.
Before the World Cup even starts, this is already the worst World Cup ever created. America should never host anything related to football, the beautiful sport that unites everyone around the world. And also, it's not even a World Cup, it is a political cup. America and Donald Trump and the higher-ups in this country are trying to prove a point that America is the biggest, the best, the most political, the most wealthy, the most expensive. These fuckers have no idea what the World Cup is. The pitches are shit. The crowds are shit. It's too expensive for everyone. Not real football fans are going to be there. I mean, the fact that the Somalian ref, who's one of the best referees in world football, is denied to come into the country when he has a valid work visa for the United States for this. The fact that FIFA can't come into play, the fact that FIFA are partnering up with Donald Trump and whoever else for this political battle. This is not what football is about, man. Like, 2026, we need this to go on and be good. I told you guys before jokingly that it was going to be terrible. There's been no hype about the World Cup. Nothing is going on correctly, and it's just sad to see. Like, there's searches going on to every checkpoint for these countries and the fans and other cities around America. Like, it's just not a good look for the World Cup, and it's not what the World Cup stands for.
Yes, we called it when we told FIFA, don't come here because ICE is going to get you. 17 people. Players, coaches, referees, family, and parents. 17 people have been detained by ICE as soon as they got off their plane to America to come to FIFA. This is just what we said it was going to be. Why do we need ICE as security at a World Cup game? Yeah, they're detaining people right when they get here. This is literally was Trump's plan. He wants to get as many foreigners to come in so he can detain them and send them wherever he wants to send them. But yeah, now they're just going right after him right at the airport. They're not even hiding it. And these are the people that are supposed to be in the game. And the fans. This is literally ridiculous. They got like the center for one of the teams. They got the referees. They got the coaches. What the fuck, dude? There's going to be nobody left to play. Yeah, so keep an eye out on that one because we called it.
Why did the US host the World Cup if it was unwilling to welcome the world in such a worldly event? The World Cup is about bringing people together, cultural exchange, and human connection. And the Somali FIFA referee being denied entry just because he's a Somali, that is pure racism. So let's get to see more. Please like and hype the video, right? Let's get into it.
When I tell you I am sick and tired of having this conversation, I wish the US just wasn't hosting at all. I literally wish that the games were anywhere else. Europe, back to the Middle East. We could have gone back to Qatar at this point. The United States is showing themselves to be exactly who they projected Qatar to be in 2022. The World Cup is supposed to be about all of these cultures, all of these countries coming together to see the best of the best in football. And instead, a referee, one of the youngest in history, and he can't ref this game. He can't even get into the country because he's Somali. No criminal record, nothing. Like, One, I can't stand the country airlines, but also FIFA, you knew what administration you were coming into. You knew exactly what you're going to have to deal with. And to not anticipate this and have a plan to make sure everybody could get in, I also think is reckless. Of course, FIFA can only do so much against Trump, but like, we act like they're not holding hands in all of this. I'm sorry, I'm pissed off. No puedo creerlo. Like, oh my gosh. And you know what? America should just be called, instead of land of the free, home of the brave, por favor. Literally, we are land of the greed and home of the hypocrites. I'm so sick of this. I'm so sad for this young man. And I hope they can resolve it because he deserves to be reffing that World Cup finals. He worked hard to get to this place, and it's unfair that a racist administration is trying to hold him back from that. I also... Like, why are we hosting the Olympics in 2028? Like, take it all away from the U.S. And again, I say that as someone who is from the United States, and before someone says, if you don't like it, then leave. What happened to freedom of speech? Am I allowed to speak up against my country or not? Like, get that shit away from me. Shut up before you try to bring that energy here. The fact this is also still Ronald Reagan's fault. This is pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. This should not be happening. There's no reason for it. It's pathetic. It's hypocritical, and I hate to see it. I hope the U.S. never hosts World Cup games again. I hope after 2028 they never get an Olympics again. I've had enough. Until we have an administration that upholds, that actually is welcoming, that actually says what they're gonna do, don't bring it back here. Fine by me. I hate to see it. I'm so sorry, Omar. I'm so sorry.
Scottish fans headed to the World Cup are being denied entry into the United States. You heard that correctly. Scotland. Now, they don't need a visa to come to the United States, but they need to fill out an ESTA, which is basically a travel application. And this is vetted by the Department of Homeland Security. Well, just days ahead of when these fans are supposed to arrive here in the United States, they're being denied access to the country. Now, these fans, tagged in the BBC report below, have no way to contact the Department of Homeland Security to appeal or find out why they've been denied entry, and they are losing out on thousands and thousands of dollars and pounds that they have already spent to make it here to see their team play in the World Cup. As one of the host states for the Scottish fans, I am personally livid and apologize on behalf of the entire country because this is effed up. If this has happened to you, let me know in the comments whether you're from Scotland or anywhere else, especially if you're from a visa-free country and all you had to fill out was an ESTA. Pretty much the same form I have to fill out when I go to Scotland later this summer. I'll level with you. I expected shenanigans from this administration when it came to international travelers in the World Cup, but what's their beef with Scotland? No Scotland, no party. And if you make it to Rhode Island, hope to see you in Providence.
Every day I keep reading that America has denied entry to more people for the World Cup. And like every day a new country gets banned. Here's an idea. You can't have a World Cup without the world. It's just a cup at that point. It becomes an empty cup. A cup that's barely dishwasher safe. And knowing America is probably full of sugar and red 40. Fans are being denied entry. Coaches are being denied entry. FIFA official referees are being denied entry. I'm surprised the ball made it in. You know, the football that they kick around. I'm surprised that made it past TSA. And what's the point of having an airport if no one can land and check into arrivals? Yeah, no, that's what. شايفين حالكم جنة الفردوس ولا ايه؟ حاجة غلب. Yeah, wallah, it's easier to get into heaven, يا زلمة. Matter of fact, hell is less discriminatory. They're more hospitable to tourists than you. It's not even America's World Cup. They're sharing it with Canada and Mexico. بس علشان أمريكا الدنيا. America is the mother of the dunya, the world. The world does not revolve around the sun. The sun identifies as America, apparently. The soccer World Cup did. The New York Knicks are winning the World Cup. Hey! حاجبنا الجزمة. You know, oh, Qatar, an apology. Oh, when I'm just playing America. You know I love you.
Unfortunately, I fear right now a lot of Americans are showing how dissociated we are from the rest of the world when it comes to the FIFA World Cup. And the reason being is this is the biggest sporting event in the world. Like, it is, outside of America, it is the sporting event, right? In every single other country, okay? We have our sports that we kind of, you know, soccer, which we're the only ones who call it soccer. Football is the biggest sport across the world, right? And we're hosting it. I don't know who decided that North America is going to host it, but we're hosting it, and it is not like it ever is hosted any other place in the world because of the fact that it's hosted here. Yes, people are upset that nothing is walkable. right? And we're thinking, oh, why would people want to walk across I-95? That's not the point. The point is, this is a working class sport in every other country, right? It's the people who are going to work every day. They come home, they throw on the TV, they grab a beer, they sit with their friends and their family, they watch the games, or they go to the games. It's not accessible for a lot of people who actually found their way who actually could come here and watch the games. It's not easily accessible. We are very different than the way the rest of the world operates. But we're so sheltered, most people don't even realize how different we are. Most people in other countries don't have cars. They don't need cars. I'm not saying they're poor or they're not well off. The infrastructure is very, very, very different. We are very different in the way we do things. And we just decided to host a nationwide sport that we don't really have the infrastructure and the financial support that every other country does. The ticket prices is one thing. The hotels jacking up their prices is another thing. The commuter rails and all that, they're jacking up their prices too. We're making this a very difficult sport for people to come and support, when every other place that hosts it, it's a lot easier for the working class people to support it. It's a lot easier for foreign people to support it and come and do the games. It's not like that here.
Don't host a World Cup if you don't want people to come to your country. Few hours remaining to the World Cup and there's absolutely no hype at all. It's a fucking boring World Cup.
Now, here is where this becomes something you cannot explain away. The Trump administration gutted the CDC. They dismantled Ebola detection programs entirely. Elon Musk publicly bragged about cutting those safeguards. Then an Ebola outbreak erupted in Congo and Uganda. And what did the Trump administration do next? They sent threatening diplomatic cables to European nations, warning that failure to adopt U.S. Ebola protocols may require America to take unilateral action against them. They burned down the fire station, then threatened the neighbors for not having enough water. The country that invited the world to celebrate the beautiful game is interrogating its guests at airports, banning their coaches, seizing their phones, and threatening its closest allies. FIFA regulations require every host nation to guarantee fair and equal conditions for all competing teams. The United States signed that agreement. They are in open violation of it right now. So here's the question. Nobody in power wants to answer if a team can't bring their coaches, can't bring their staff, and must leave U.S. soil the same night their match ends. Are they really being invited to compete in this World Cup? Or are they being set up to fail on American soil at the event America spent years fighting to host?
All right, we've got some more bad news for FIFA and the World Cup 2026. It looks like the Iranians are being denied their tickets. Yes, a lot of them have already purchased hotel, airlines, and all of that, and there is nobody taking responsibility for this. Each country gets an 8% allocation. Per this article in NBC, their ticket allocation has been pulled. Again, more international tourists who have already paid for hotels and airfare are being denied entry to the USA. If you did not know, the USA spent millions and millions of dollars and 10 years planning for the FIFA World Cup 2026 for this year. In addition, did you know that tourism is $3 trillion part of economic activity every single year? And we have lost $41 billion so far in tourism alone. I want to remind everyone that this tourism crisis is not being discussed by anybody in our government, and it's going to have a huge negative impact on the U.S. economy.
Did you know that for 6 months straight, the only refugees allowed into the United States have all been white? And yesterday, one of the top referees in all of Africa was denied entry into the U.S. and dropped from the list of World Cup officials. The Naturalization Act of 1790 limited all new citizenship in this country to, quote, free white persons of, quote, good character. And what this administration is doing is not something new, but something very old. You see, whiteness didn't exist in 1619 when the first Africans were brought to these shores. Whiteness was invented as a contrast to blackness solely for the purpose of justifying chattel slavery and the greed that propelled it. And while we're out here trying to tear down these artificial walls of race, they're trying to build them back up, stronger than ever. But the thing is, hate will never overcome. Only love can do that.
It really feels like people don't care enough that the World Cup is happening in the US. Like, I don't think people are excited. Like, we are having the World Cup in the US. Like, do you guys understand what that means? Like, this is not in a once in a lifetime, but I don't know when this is going to happen again. Like, we're not excited enough. Like, there's not enough things going on. Like, I'm in one of the hosting cities. I'm in Atlanta, and I genuinely feel like there is not enough excitement. There is not enough hype around this. There is not enough. I don't even think we're even planned correctly. I don't even think we're planned properly for this. Like, I think the US is really slacking with this whole World Cup situation. Like, we are not excited. We have 30 minutes. Like, we need to get it's not it. It's not giving the vibes it needs to give.
The World Cup is more than just a football. It is a symbol of international cooperation. It's one of the few events that is capable of bringing the entire world together, you know? It doesn't matter what language you speak, what religion you follow, or where you come from, or what political beliefs you hold. For 1 month, people put their differences aside and unite around a shared love of the beautiful game. But now with the concerns of visa, travel restrictions, entry denials, and the fear of vice, it has created an atmosphere of uncertainty. And I believe if the US volunteered to host the World Cup, it should also be prepared to welcome the world. The US has already ruined its reputation on the world stage. Even visitors from other countries find the US not hospitable, and they're choosing not to visit the US, you know? Even allies are becoming more isolated because of Trump and his rhetoric of threatening the allies, you know? But most people agree, regardless of where someone stands politically, the FIFA World Cup should not be a symbol of division, you know? It should be a symbol of connection, because football is bigger than politics. Hosting the World Cup is a privilege and not an entitlement. And with that privilege comes responsibility. A responsibility to ensure that football is open to everybody and the visitors feel welcome. So thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Have a good one. I'll see you in the next video.